talk travel. Many of us are heading off for March break or planning that summer trip away, but the way we vacation isn't exactly good for the environment. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, the tourism sector creates around 8 to 11% of the greenhouse gas emissions around the world. So how do you consider your carbon footprint while on vacation? Here are some tips on how to travel sustainably. Is Krishma Porwal, an eco-expert. Good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about how our travel contributes to climate change.
Yeah, so it's summer, it's almost summer, and people have travel plans, which is really exciting. And I do think that seeing the world, it's not only fun, but it feeds our curiosity, helps us experience different cultures, learn how different people live, and we really color our lives with these experiences that we have when we travel. But yes, travel has a heavy impact on the planet, and we can start with flying. So planes run on fossil fuels, which means they release carbon dioxide as they fly. Now, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, which is largely responsible for global warming and the unseasonably hot temperatures that we've been seeing recently. And global warming is of a national concern, of course, but then we also know that 8% of tourism emissions come from tourism. And it's not just flying. While flying makes up the majority of this, we also know that things like cruises and the large amount of waste that they create. We know that hotels running ACs 24/7 can be a big part of this. And we also know that some places divert resources away from native people to serve tourists instead. So there's different ways in which tourism can be harmful to people and planet. But the good news is there's ways in which we can travel that are kinder to the land and to the local people of wherever we're visiting.
And you've got some tips for everybody as we continue to plan those vacations. You can start by planning the way you pack. What's your tip here?
Yeah, so with the way that you pack, I would say pack lots of what you already have. So have you ever had that moment where you check into a hotel and you're like, shoot, I forgot my toothbrush?
Yes.
Right? So all these last-minute vacation items that we forget to pack that we already have can really add up. And often they're single-use or disposable, so we want to avoid them overall. So I would recommend a thorough packing list is the way to go. That is the play. And I'd also say avoid buying an entirely new wardrobe for your vacation. I know it's tempting to buy new clothes for your trip, but realistically, we probably already have some great summer clothes in our closet already. And we're going to remember the memories that we make on our trips as opposed to the outfits that we wear. So if we avoid shopping that whole new vacation closet, we can avoid fast fashion and we can save some money at the same time.
Great advice. All right, another tip involves once we get there, how we get around.
Yeah, so getting around once you land is a big part of how you travel. I know it can be really tempting to take a taxi or an Uber, but I would recommend taking public transit. Now, public transit is the beating heart of so many cities. You could go as far as to say it's a part of the culture, right? People go to London, England to experience riding the tube, and people go to Lisbon, Portugal to see those iconic little yellow streetcars that city is known for. So it's a way to understand how people live and really experience the city in an authentic way. You can, of course, walk or cycle, which isn't just good for the planet, but it's good for you too. Yeah, exactly. And if you're going to rent a car, then I would consider getting an electric vehicle because that way you can keep your gas expenses low and your emissions low at the same time.
And also you can try one out if you've never tried one before, and they're really, really fun. Local businesses supporting those.
Yeah, so this is where I want to talk about gentrification a little bit. Now, gentrification, especially tourism gentrification, is a big problem when places experience a large influx of travelers. So think about it this way. A quaint beach town with a cute market, with local vendors selling handcrafted items, local musicians playing on the street. Imagine this gets bought out by a large hotel chain, right? We lose all of that. The locals are driven out, old buildings have to come down to make way for new resorts, and we kind of lose the identity of the place. It becomes entirely commercialized. We lose the culture that that place was known for. So as tourists, we can fight against this by supporting small boutique hotels and eating at locally owned places. And this way we get a real taste of the culture and the cuisine of the place, as opposed to experiencing it in a little bit of an adulterated way through North American chain resorts.
Krishma, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Also respecting local rules. I know that's something you offer as well. It's great to see you. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.